Alright, we're reviewing the good, the bad, and the Casey Jones, a Ninja Turtle episode. So we're finally getting Casey Jones. I know he's got appearances in this show, but this is like him going full on Casey Jones. He's finally getting the hockey mask, the weapons. He's fulfilling his destiny. He wants to protect his family. It's April from like mutants or the Foot Clan, and so I just love it where he's donning all his weapons and he's just saying, "Beware the world of Casey Jones." And so this is kind of like the Mirage comics Ninja Turtles, because in the Mirage comics, Raph met Casey when Raph was having anger issues, and he saw someone who has even bigger anger issues. That being Casey Jones. So basically what happens is Raph and Leo are sparring, and I think Raph goes a little too far. I think he ends up hurting Leo, and then his brothers and Splinter tell him to calm down, and Raph's like, "Hey, I was just fighting," and then they're just like, "No, you weren't," and then Raph kind of just storms off and kind of just lets his anger out. It feels like you can relate to a lot of people who deal with anger. And so basically, Raph then sees Casey Jones, where he takes down a group of purple dragons. He says Casey Jones shoots, he scores. That's like that becomes like his catchphrase throughout the series, and Goon Gala, which he says in the comic books, by the way. And so Raph then decides that he thinks Casey's too nuts, and then he swoops in, and Casey's just shocked that it's a Ninja Turtle. And so they get into a little brawl, and it's a very cool scene. Like it's like straight out of the Ninja Turtles movie and comic. And so basically Raph wins the fight, I think. And it almost looks like he's gonna kill Casey, and then Raph almost admits that he does have anger issues, and maybe he needs to calm down. But then he decides to go down to the lair and then see what the brothers are doing, and then they're watching the anime show they like to watch, and then I think they even annoy Raph even more with Mikey and Donnie just saying things to annoy him, and Leo's just like, "Hey man, come on, let's just hang out." And so Raph just storms off again and shows off his anger. I think this takes place 3 days later, since Casey's still looking for the Ninja Turtle, and he even draws it, and we even see like a Mirage looking for Raph and Casey. And so basically he sees Raph on the rooftop and decides to follow him, and then that's where Casey finds the turtle lair. And so by the way, they've been followed by the Foot Clan, the Footbots. And I just love the part where Casey accidentally drops a box full of pizza with a fork, and then Donnie's like, "An intruder," and then Raph recognizes him, and they're like, "You know this guy, Raph?" And then they take off his mask, and he's wearing face makeup, and then April sees him, and then April's just like, "Casey," and then it's kind of going how I thought it would go, like how the Casey would meet the turtles. Like he gets into a quarrel with them, and then they all work it out, and then they all become friends, and then that's basically what happened. And so April introduces the turtles, and and we even get a joke with Raph being afraid of cockroaches, and Casey's afraid of rats because he's afraid of Splinter when he first meets him. And when he thinks the turtles are Italian, but then Splinter just shows that he named him after a Renaissance artist. And so when it all gets interrupted by the Footbots, and so all the turtles and Casey and Raph get into this fight with the foot soldiers, and they basically are trying to destroy all of them just so they won't give the traits to Shredder, because if he finds out, he's gonna attack their lair home. And so Casey and Raph end up teaming up to take down the last one. He almost gets into the city, and then we get a little glimpse of the subway, the train station. Like, it's very cool stuff. And so I think they do take him down. And then the turtles in case they're now all friends, like I said, and then Dottie's like, "Ooh, we got 2 Raphaels," and then the episode ends. Okay, so that's the Good, Bad, and the Casey Jones. Pretty good episode, pretty iconic episode. I always thought Casey looked cool. Like, when I saw his action figure, I knew I wanted it, and then I got it. I've had it ever since. And like, you just look at his equipment. He's got like spray paint. He's got like a little taser thing that's like a baseball glove or something. I love his mask. It gets really cool. And he's played by Josh Peck from Drake and Josh. So that's a cool twist from like Drake and Josh to Ninja Turtles. So I think my only issue with this episode, I gotta be honest, I feel like we could have gotten more of Raph and Casey's relationships, and I feel like it's only shown in this episode. Because as the show goes on, Casey has a little love triangle with Donnie and April, and he does have an episode, Mikey, the Mondo Gecko episode. But him and Raph don't really have moments to shine together. He's kind of just their buddies now. All the turtles. So that's my only nitpick with that episode, basically, because I feel like this is the only episode we see Casey and Raph have a bonding moment. And you'll probably say they do have other bonding moments, but I don't know. I'm just saying, this is my opinion. So I rate this episode, why not an 8 out of 10? I don't know what the next episode is. I think it's a Krang episode. So I can't wait to talk about that episode. So with that said, thanks for watching, and Turtle Power.